Welcome home, my quiet storm, my warriors in silence, my givers who poured until they were empty, the ones they took for granted, then pretended to forget. You, who kept showing up, even when no one noticed. You, who gave your all, even when they gave you scraps. You, who stayed loyal long after they stopped deserving you. I know what it feels like, to be everything to everyone, to be present, supportive, consistent, only to be overlooked, misunderstood, and drained. You were their lifeline until you needed one. You were their comfort until your presence made them uncomfortable. You were their strength until they realized they could no longer manipulate it. And then you pulled back. You stopped calling. You stopped explaining. You stopped chasing people who only remembered your worth when they needed something. And now they feel it. Your absence. Loud, heavy, uncomfortable. They miss the version of you that tolerated the bare minimum. They miss the you who always answered, always helped, always stayed. They miss the one who never asked for anything in return. But that version of you, gone. Not bitter, not broken, just done. You didn't leave to teach them a lesson. You left because you finally learned yours. They thought you'd always be there, always waiting, always available. Because that's what you taught them. Not with words, but with your actions. You were reliable, so they relied too much. You were kind, so they assumed you'd never say no. You were forgiving, so they kept hurting you, assuming you'd never walk away. But every soul has its breaking point. Every giver learns that giving too much to the wrong people leaves you empty. You weren't asking for much, just effort, just honesty, just care. But they couldn't give it because they never had to. They were too busy enjoying your light to wonder what it cost you to shine. But the day you went silent, the world shifted. No more long replies, no more emotional support at 2 a.m., no more fixing what they kept breaking. You didn't announce it. You didn't scream it. You just stopped. And now they sit with the echoes, the space your voice used to fill, the warmth your presence used to bring. They scroll through old messages, hoping to feel close again. But closeness isn't a click away. It's built through respect, through presence, through consistency. And they had none of that. They never thought you'd really leave. They thought you were bluffing, that you'd come running back like always. But you didn't. This time, your silence was real. This time, your distance was permanent. Now your absence is loud, louder than all the words you ever spoke, because people don't notice your presence until it becomes a memory. They don't value your heart until it's no longer theirs to hold. You gave them countless chances. You excused the red flags. You justified the coldness. You held on to the idea of them, not the reality. And the reality was this: they were never going to choose you the way you chose them. They were never going to love you with the depth you loved them, because they were too busy taking to learn how to give. But now they replay your laughter in their head. Now they remember your patience. Now they feel the sting of losing the one person who stayed when everyone else walked away. You didn't leave to teach them a lesson. You left to teach yourself peace, to heal in spaces where you weren't questioned, to breathe without guilt, to protect your soul from further damage. And maybe one day they'll understand what they had. Maybe one day they'll whisper your name with regret and realize that no one ever showed up like you did. But it'll be too late, because you're not coming back, not to be their fixer, not to be their fallback, not to be used under the disguise of love. They lost access to your loyalty, to your energy, to your kindness, and you've moved on with scars, yes, but also with strength. You've grown from the silence. You've bloomed in the solitude. You've learned that love should never cost you your soul. Now you walk lighter, because you no longer carry people who wouldn't lift you. You no longer wait for apologies that never came. You no longer chase hearts that ran from yours. You no longer seek closure, because peace became your closure. You've stopped explaining your worth. You've stopped shrinking to be digestible. You've stopped proving your love to those who treated it like an option instead of a gift. Because you finally see it. Your value isn't measured by who stays. Your beauty isn't determined by who couldn't see it. Your strength isn't defined by who broke you. You were never too much. You were just too real in a world that fears depth. You were just too loyal for people who didn't understand commitment. You were just too genuine in a place full of masks. And now, they regret it. They regret letting you go. They regret overlooking you. They regret taking you for granted. But regret is the tax they pay for losing someone unforgettable. Because you weren't just a moment. You were a miracle. You weren't just a chapter. You were the entire book they never finished reading. So don't go back to prove anything. Don't dim to be invited. Don't break your silence to comfort their guilt. Keep walking. Let the echo of your absence remind them of what they'll never feel again. Let your glow, from a distance, burn in the places they kept dark. Let them remember not just what you gave, but how they lost you. And if they ever wonder why you left, let the silence answer. Because you deserved more. You deserved presence, not just promises. Effort, not just excuses. Love, not just convenience. You were a blessing, and they lost you forever. Let them regret it.